the first question is, what can fans expect to see at your show at on March 2nd at the Embassy Theater? Will it resemble your PBS special?
I mean, it is the music and it is the sound and the feel of the PBS special. But we're doing it a little bit differently than the PBS special, just to kind of give us some flexibility in the music we do and the order we do it in, and in order to try to make it a little more intimate. The PBS special was such a big, production itself that in order to take that on the road, you kind of lose some of the intimacy that I like to have in a show. And I lose a little bit of flexibility, when you have local musicians or horns and strings at the very least that have charts that they have to follow along with. If I want to change a song, or God forbid if I mess up, and I end up not being able to, they have to follow the charts. So not having people follow charts makes things a little bit more intimate and a little more flexible for us on stage. So it's the same vibe, it's the same sound, but it's not going to look exactly the same.
Speaking of the PBS special, what did you enjoy most about that particular concert?
I mean, being able to, about the concert itself,
yeah.
I enjoyed the concert just because it was, it is nice. I'd say that we don't take it on the road with us for various reasons, but, it's nice to have that nice, fancy, big production going on, and the fact that we did it in my hometown, and I had so many people who I grown up with, had about 15 to 20 teachers who had taught me at various grades, all the way from second grade up to my senior year, up to college, actually.
Oh, really? Wow.
Who were there. I had one teacher from every grade except for first and kindergarten.
Wow.
And who was at the show. So that was kind of exciting and neat for me. I'd probably say that was probably the neatest. Able to do it theater that I grew up seeing shows in. Never performed it before, or had not performed it since Idol at all.
As a singer, what drew you to some of the songs on your latest album, like, for example, Suspicious Minds and Moon River?
Well, they are singer songs, that's why, Moon River is just a beautiful melody. It's not about the beat or the hook or the dance. It's just a beautiful melody. Suspicious Minds, we chose Suspicious Minds because recognize the presence that Elvis had. And for me, that song is probably, that song was one of his, was one of the more melodic, even though it's not ballad. It does have a hook, and it does have a sound to it that makes it easy or fun for singers to.
If you had the chance to perform with one notable singer from the past, who would it be and why?
From the past?
Uh-huh. Like somebody like a Frank Sinatra, for example.
I would say, well, I feel like if I don't use a deceased person.
Oh, no, it doesn't have to be deceased.
I was going to say, I'm being disrespectful. The fact that Andy Williams is not from the past. Johnny Mathis is not from the past. They're still both kicking and performing. It'd probably be one of those two. If I was to say, somebody from the, it'd probably be Johnny Mathis or Andy Williams. I just think, in this genre, they are really the crooners. You had Frank Sinatra, who was, but I would never. Frank Sinatra. Oh, Bobby Darin, maybe.
Oh, that'd be interesting. Yeah.
You have some really great. No one would second guess Frank Sinatra, but he's a little more Rat Pack-ish, coolish than I am. I would be lying if I said I was that cool. So not that Andy Williams and Johnny Mathis are not, but they're definitely more balladeers, and I think I feel a little bit more akin to that.
Do you prefer the standards? It sounds like you seem to enjoy that a little bit more than the other styles. Is that a particular favorite style to sing?
Well, I feel comfortable with them. I do. There's plenty of styles I like to sing. In fact, I like country too. I grew up on country, and I sang that more than anything else, so I feel comfortable with that too. But when it comes to like a more of a top 40 popish type sound, I do prefer these songs that fit in that category back in the 50s and 60s. I just feel like today, songs we hear on the radio, there are far less songs that are about the melody. There are only a certain number of notes in existence.
Right.
There are only a certain number of ways you can put those notes into patterns to make melodies.
Right.
Music's been being made for centuries. And at some point you start running out of the most beautiful patterns and we start rehashing them. You listen to the radio now and people are sampling old songs within their new songs just because some of the melodies, some of the hooks, some of the sounds that were made in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s are superior to what's left. I mean, in about 20 years, we may have run out of different notes to put to do the whole thing.
Did you enjoy being on Broadway, and would you do more shows in the future?
I did, and I didn't really think I was going to love it that much. I mean, I don't say I didn't think I was going to love it. I did think it would be fun. I thought it would be interesting. I thought I'd get tired of doing the same thing 8 times a week for what ended up being 30 weeks, or 32 weeks. I thought I'd get tired of it, but I didn't. And at the end of each time, I did it twice. I went at the beginning. Each time I kind of regretted that it was over.
Has fatherhood influenced the way you approach your music?
No, I have a boring answer for that. People ask that all the time, and I don't. It doesn't. I mean, I think if I wrote music, it might. It probably influences the way that I feel about my career, because, before it was always just have fun and who cares. And now I'm like, well, I got college to pay for and everything, so let's get these things, let's work this. It works that, it changes that outlook a little bit. But, I'm not a songwriter.
The last question is, what's been the highlight of your career so far for you?
Oh, God, that's impossible to say. Really? I mean, I honestly, it's a great question, and I wish I had an answer to it. Every time I do something, it seems like, oh, I would have thought. I mean, I remember singing for the World Series within months after Idol, and sang for Broadway, sang for Miss America. I don't know why that's so exciting to me, but I got to sing There She Is, which that was kind of cool. There've been a lot of things that have been bigger and better than the last thing.
Well, anyways, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me.
Thank you very much.